make sure you are part of them. Some deficit in some of the Christ members, not all, but some of them, because you know there was a point where, as a ministry, for instance, we didn't have systematic teachings like we're having right now. It's like we used to meet once in every 3 months for camp meetings. Then there was no time to really teach on certain things. If you have been a TMI member, for instance, you will have some sort of understanding with regards to, for example, prophetic ministry, directions, and stuff like that. And so there are some of the pitfalls, you will not fall into them. So there are instances where other Christ members have fallen victim to some of these extra biblical prophetic directions and all that. And in the final analysis, they came to me at last resort. And then by the time I was able to help them out, they had committed themselves in a way, you see. But if they had been on the same page, we are all learning. You will know that you don't follow somebody just because the person has accuracy in a prophetic word, for instance. So there was somebody who called me some time ago, 2019, and then she said that she's another Christ member. So she said she met this man in a car, and the man started talking to her about her family, and then gave her everything into detail. Her brother is at the university, this, that. This is the course he's offering. He said everything was true. So the man took her contact and was communicating with her. Then one day the man said that he has seen death hit all her, they are 5 in number, hit all her siblings. And so she has to get pigeons, abronoma. Abronoma, yes, pigeon. 5 of them, so that he will use it to do something for her. Before then, she had asked her to sow some seeds, because he could call her and then give her some details, and then she's so mesmerized, and then he would say, you need to sow a seed. The angels are going to work for you, but there are people who should fast for you, so sow this amount. The guy took from her close to 2,000 cedis. Before finally, when the guy suggested this pigeon direction, that was when she called me. And she asked me whether she should do it, because that one sounded weird to her. And I said, why didn't you call me the first time? But you should have even known what to do. If you had access to some of the things that we are learning, you will know that, number one, you will not be mesmerized by accuracy. You will probe further to find out whether this person you are dealing with is genuine. Number two, that kind of direction that the person asking you to go and pluck leaves, to go and do this, you know that they are not biblical. You are gradually going off track. And once you have reposed confidence in the person, if he told you to pluck leaves and bath with the leaves, and you did it, then why can't he also tell you to bring pigeons? So you see, so it's like progression. You progress. So I told her not to subscribe to that direction. There's another one also that she was nearly, if you like, raped by that so-called prophet. Yeah, and for her, she said that if it is other money, sometimes the way this prophet will call her and the pressure, one day she walked through darkness to go to the ATM machine to withdraw money for the prophet. Because he was there, he said he was at the mountain. So some of these things, you can be dealing with the people who don't know. But if you have been listening, we have been teaching all these things consistently. If you have been listening, you will know that, now this thing, this is not the way we should do it. So it's of a Christ member. I realized that there was that kind of deficit, because it's like today, to tell you the truth, few people are dedicated to consistent delivery of teaching I'm telling you, few churches do that. So it's likely that you may not find yourself in a church that is committed to systematic teaching. It will be like every day they will have to give you a motivational uh, uh, teaching or preaching to encourage you, but dispensing knowledge for you to understand the ways of God and all that in the system now is minimal. So if you don't take care and some people also what they do is that they also shop, from preacher to preacher. That's also not helping. Some also feed on short messages, like quick word, short messages that they feed on. It's also not helping. This is why I I was talking about the courses, the discipleship school. I'll talk about that where everybody who enters the ministry will make sure that you are learning, so that you will not be. So these are taking advantage of. These are the interventions that they can take advantage of. Yeah.
Hello. Okay. So my question is about maybe if a member is a steward in All for Christ, and maybe the person has traveled, is the person still a steward since the person is not physically in this in this country? Is the person still a steward? And also, I know of a friend who like has been a member even before I joined this ministry, and the person is still a member. And the person was like, I've been a member for a long time, but when daddy was selecting the stewards, he didn't select me. So I want to know, is there a particular way of which somebody can be promoted from a member into maybe a mentor or a steward without maybe you doing the selection? And also, my last question is about maybe if somebody is in this ministry and the person has maybe a direction, maybe to move into a certain branch, a certain ministry of this how do I put it? Yeah, a certain ministry in this ministry. maybe let's say maybe I'm in Glory Choir, and maybe I want to focus on, maybe I'm in Glory Choir, but I'm in maybe Accra, but I want to open a branch of Glory Choir in Accra. What process do I have to go through? Do I have to come through mentorship and some interviews before that? Okay. Or
Okay, to address the first question of the selection, let me start from this. Uh, the first time we let's say I selected people, recruited people was for special forces. So for that one, I didn't do the selection actually. There were a couple of names that came to me that I put down. So when I went, we were at Abono Mountains. That was 2013. So when I went to the mount, when I came home, I had those names. So when I went there, I called Pastor Strong and somebody else, and I said that these people and any other person that you think have possessed that kind of uh, leadership, they are firebrands. They are firebrands. They are serious. These are my list. And they also confirmed. They said, "Oh, they have other. They brought other people." So we asked those people to come to the retreat center after the what was that crusade? No, after the camp meeting. Then we started. I call them Special Missions Forces. So that was SMF, but we used to call them Special Forces. And so I started grooming them here, giving them more time, teaching. So after every camp meeting, they will come here. I will teach them. We'll pray and everything. And then I started organizing ministers' retreat. These same people became ministers. Ministers' retreat and all that. Now, in 2017, again, I brought a list. For that one, I chose them myself. 17 people to be elders. I didn't consult anybody. I just got a list I was praying. I was just writing their names down. So when I came in this hall, I told the pastors we had a meeting, and then I called them and I quickly pretended that these people, I want to start, inaugurate another group of leaders called elders, and these are the people that I've appointed. Okay, there were 17 of them. Then all the people luckily were there, so I called all of them, had a meeting with them, and told them that if you can be an elder, it means that your commitment and allegiance, loyalty should be to offer Christ to this ministry. Then they all agreed. Then I inducted them into office at that time. That was the elders. As time went on, I told the pastor that I'm going to create another tier of leadership called stewards. But this time with the stewards, what I did was that I organized a 6 months Bible training. And that was the criteria I used to select the stewards. So you had to come for the 6 months Bible training, kingdom leadership. How many of you were at that training? Kingdom leadership, yes. So that was the criteria. So, and did you do exams? Yes, they were examined and all that. And so on the day of the inauguration, even there were some that had not done the exams that were not inaugurated, but later I had to induct them in because they are taking part in the course, just that they didn't take the exam. And so you see that there was a criteria for the selection of the stewards. So that person for this one, it wasn't like it wasn't handpicked. It's the steward. The criteria was that you go for and I already somewhere in departments, I said that I made a statement that anybody who does not attend this leadership position, I will find a way of removing from your position as leader. I said I'll find a way. I just said it. I said I'll find a way of making sure you are not a leader anymore in any department. So I took time to take them through training. Yeah. So you see, somebody can be in the ministry and all that, and may think that every position or is by selection. Like you will have to appoint this. If I do that all the time, I may be mistaken, But if there's a criteria that, okay, come for this course, then if you don't come, it means that you are not prepared to be a leader. You see? Yeah. Then to answer the second question, if let's say you go to a branch of this ministry, you are a Glory Choir member, maybe there's no Glory Choir. That means that you must start Glory Choir there. That means because once you are a member, Glory Choir member, for instance, the UK diaspora, that's how when we went for the camp meeting, at that time they had Lordina and Vera. No, even the first conference, Sandra was not there. It was Lordina, Vera, Joshua. Yes, Dillis was there, but even Dillis came at the watch night. So throughout the conference, it was Lordina and Vera mostly, and then sometimes Joshua. They were because we wanted people to lead worship, and these are Glory Choir members. They were not leaders in Glory Choir, maybe, but once you are there, you are there. So they started leading Glory Choir. The U.S. Conference, the same thing. I think Anita, Ruth, and Anita were leading the praise and worship. So that's how it is. So if you go to any place and then you are a member of a ministry, maybe if it's Wayne, now Wayne, the U.S. they started Wayne. They had a meeting with Pastor Collins today, but I think they had to postpone because of this today's meeting. So they want to connect all the Wayne, all over, so that they can have one meeting with Pastor Collins, connect all the Wayne. Now, these people are also Wayne members who have traveled. They are Wayne members who have traveled, Wayne members who have left Kumasi to Accra, left Kumasi to Volta, whatever. So if you leave Kumasi to another place and you are a member of a particular ministry, you can easily, if there's none, you can easily offer yourself to start. Then you ask about. Yes, they are still stewards. You see, what is going to happen is that because we are going to link leadership to the discipleship school. You see, somebody may may assess the course, study the manual and all that, take the exam, go through interview, and will be given the rank of a steward. And he's a steward wherever he finds himself in the ministry, anywhere in the world, he's still a steward. You see, then because now, if you call you steward, we know that you have gone through ABC lessons, you have taken ABC exam, you have gone through ABC interview, so we can now entrust something into your hand. So if you go to any place, then they know what you are capable of doing because you have gone through the system. So it's not like now, for now, because you have not started it in earnest, it's more like if somebody is a steward right now and the person, let's say, goes to another place, there will have to be some correspondence between the people there and the people here, whether this person, so what should we let the person do, or what can the person do, or the pastor there will also know, and also give you something to do.
Nade, please, I also want to ask this. How do you address people who, maybe, for example, they are elders, but they are leading a ministry? So do you, for example, Pastor Bless, do you address Pastor Bless or Elder Bless?
Okay.
Elder Patrick, like he leading a ministry?
No, you see, Pastor Bless is leading a branch. So TMI will recognize him as a pastor. Elder Patrick can recognize a pastor by his ministry. But TMI is not pastoring any TMI church. And so we call him Elder Patrick. I think that there was somebody drew my attention to the flyer, and they said that, why did we write Elder Patrick, not Pastor Patrick? And I said that, are you the one who makes pastors in this ministry? Because, yeah, I mean, it's not to, but you see, a pastor, now we have pastors. The pastors are the founding pastors or members of the ministry. It's not like they have to necessarily handle a branch. Any other person, before we call you pastor, you must be pastoring. I don't know whether you understand. So Pastor Bless, I call him Pastor Bless because he's pastoring the church. Why? So the church recognizes him as a pastor, a branch pastor of the ministry. But even though Elder Patrick is handling people in what he's doing in his ministry, it's not directly a TMI. If, for instance, when he told me that he wanted to start something like a ministry, in-person meeting, I told him that I will not let you start it until you start a Of a Christ with TMI branch. So start the TMI of a Christ branch, and then I can release you to start that one. Otherwise, you can't start. That's what I told him. Yes, so that's your answer. Okay. No questions so far. All right. So let's move on to in fact, this year, God willing, this year, I'm thinking of revisiting that that thing, so that more people can have the opportunity to also go through. Yeah, because there are some people who have been members of this ministry for a long time. Now, they should have been stewards, at least, because you have gone past mentors. You should have been a steward by now. So, some people will be given opportunity to come through the program, then they can be inducted as stewards. Okay. Let me see. the the policies. Well, let me go through the policies. Yeah. Okay.
Daddy, please see that there are some people that weren't part of the stewards. But then when we started the stewards meeting, they joined through YAM. So like automatically we have the meetings with them and all, and then they take part in everything stewards do. So then are they also stewards automatically, or they will have to
No,
also go through?
no, they are not stewards automatically. They are YAM. The meeting is stewards and YAM executives or YAM leaders. You see, so you see, if we were to assign tags, for instance, they will not because you have not been inducted. But you see, they have an opportunity to take part in the course because by reason of their proactiveness, now it's like they have been brought into some kind of leadership. And so for such people, the course I'm going to organize, for instance, they will have to just take part so that their status will be regularized. That's all. Yeah. Because the same sacrifices that the stewards make, they made the same thing. They'll stay after church, stay in the meetings, go for outreach. So, in effect, they are doing what stewards should be doing. Yeah.
Please, during the day that the stewards graduated, I heard them teasing some people that they didn't pass. But then I see those people working as stewards right now. So the people that took the exams and they didn't pass, is it because it's church? So we recognize them that okay, still they are stewards, or they will have to write the exam for the next batch. That
You see, the thing is, the way the exam was, it was not just an exam, but I gave them, I think, 14 different assignments. So if you partook of the assignments and maybe you failed the exam, we will look at that's your participation in the because the point is not just to pass, but even ideally after passing, you should have gone through interview for us to know whether you are just using your mind, your brain to pass, or the thing is really in you. Because some people, if you say exams, no matter what, they'll pass. Yeah. But I see this one, for instance, the way the questions were, you had to really study. Because some of the questions were taken from the messages and all that, and some too involve research and all that. So we will streamline it, and then when it becomes fully operational, which I believe is this year, now all the stewards will be given certificate because they have passed through the exam. Then all the others, once you pass through, you come before a panel, we interview you, we certify you, then you are given a certificate, then you are also inducted a Kodesh Maker as a steward. Yeah.
That for the stewards, it was
The microphone.
it was the results from the assignments. The results from the assignments, the marks were accumulated, and then I think the pass mark was 50 or something.
Yeah.
So if your overall accumulated mark was less than 50, after doing all the assignments and all that, if it's less than 50, then you failed.
Yeah.
So that's what Bans.
But even I think there were some people also that came to me afterwards. I think there was a problem somewhere. I've forgotten exactly, but then because they were very active and all that, but then I think one of the marks were not recorded. Yes. Yes. So that one, now the knowledge you have possessed is what is important. But we are going to be strict also on the exam because there's no other way of ascertaining your level of absorption, of what we are teaching, other than to put you to test. So we're going to